Welcome to this episode of Mike's Vehicle Spotlight, and today's MVS shines on the brand new 2019 Ford Edge ST. This is a vehicle that I have waited a long time to see, and it is finally here. The Ford Edge ST is here. Now, it wasn't just the ST Edge that I've been waiting to see, but I've just been waiting to see the 2019 Edge in general. This Edge for 2019 gets brand new front end and a brand new rear end, as well as some minor quirks that were redesigned on the inside. So the Ford Edge is still in its second generation, which debuted for the 2015 model year. And other than the redesign to the front, the back, some of the stuff on the inside, and the addition of this new ST model, there isn't too much that's different from the existing second generation Edge. Now, the very first Ford Edge debuted for 2007, and it has been in production ever since. But the Ford ST is the high-end, performance-tuned Edge. And like I said, I've been waiting to see this car in person, especially in this brand new for 2019 color, Performance Blue, which is the color that they use on the ST marketing stuff that I've seen. So our very first ST model comes to us in Performance Blue. We had snow and it melted, and there was still slush and mud all over the road, so it is not 100% clean at the moment, unfortunately. So please disregard the slight mud splatter that is along the sides of this Edge. Now, the front of the Edge ST includes these automatic LED headlamps with signature LED lighting. Also comes equipped with auto high beam, and they are also windshield wiper activated. The ST model, of course, includes a gloss black front grille with the ST insignia placed on the lower right-hand side, while the rest of the front end includes black accenting, your LED fog lights, a mesh air dam at the bottom, as well as your adaptive cruise control sensors and front parking sensors as well. The side profile of the Edge doesn't look too much different from that of an Edge that is not an ST. The mirror caps have color matching accents on the top, while the lower half are black. You also have your turn signal markers on the side, and the mirrors themselves are powered, heated. This one includes your integrated blind spot indicators. They are also manual folding. The door handles are color matching, and as long as you got the key fob in your pocket, it is touch sensitive. So it'll unlock as soon as you touch the car. Now, of course, the ST would not be the ST if it did not have these amazing looking 20-inch 5-spoke aluminum rims wrapped with 245 50R tires. The back of the Edge ST includes the integrated rear spoiler placed above the rear window. The tail lamps are LED, and they are conjoined by the gloss black accenting that runs throughout the liftgate. And the very back bumper of the Edge includes these awesome looking dual exhaust integrated dual exhaust tips, as well as your trailer hitch hookup. Let's take a look inside, shall we? Now, the interior of the second generation Edge has always been one of my favorite designs because they managed to keep somewhat of the same look as the first generation Edge, as far as like the center air bezels here, where they're kind of long like this. The first generation Edge had that, and Ford kept that. And that's actually, I think, a very nice quirk to always kind of keep a little bit of your original with whatever you're advancing into next. So let's start off with these seats. These seats are amazingly comfortable. And of course, these seats are only exclusive to the ST model. These seats are finished in leather with perforated suede inserts, white contrasted stitching, and of course, the ST insignia placed inside of the backrest. Both front seats are also powered, heated, and cooled. I like these seats because the side bolstering really feels like you're hugging you. It gives you that sport feel. So if you happen to be using this vehicle for performance reasons, then you will definitely not feel like you're going to be tipping and turning, with each corner that you're going to be going at. Speaking of your corners and stuff, you're going to be using this 4-spoke leather-wrapped steering wheel with perforated inserts, white contrasted stitching, and the left spoke includes your diagonal pad for the left instrument cluster screen, as well as your cruise controls, your adaptive cruise controls, which are placed down below that. The right spoke includes the diagonal pad for the right instrument cluster screen, as well as your audio, your hands-free phone, and your sync voice command controls as well. This particular steering wheel also includes shifting paddles on both sides of the spokes and includes your ST nameplate down here at the very bottom of the steering wheel. The driver sits in front of an luminescent gauge cluster, which includes the 160 mile per hour speedometer finished with a red needle for the ST model. And of course, this includes 2 of the 4.2-inch LCD display screens that come with the My Ford Touch system, now known as Sync 3. But the left screen includes your vehicle information overall. So you have your tachometer, fuel and coolant temperature gauges, your tire pressures, a speedometer, a turbo pressure gauge for this particular model. You also have 2 trip computers. You can look at more of your additional fuel economy settings and information, your driver assist options, your vehicle settings overall, and of course it'll also display any urgent vehicle warnings that may appear. The right display screen, of course, includes your entertainment settings, which will display current song information. It also includes your navigation, just a compass there, your phone information if you have a phone that is hooked up through the system, and it also includes the outside temperature, a compass there, and then the clock as well. Over to the left side, you have your automatic headlamp controls, which also include your interior dimmer switch, your rear liftgate release, and the traction control override. The ST also has lane keep assist, so to turn that off or on, there's a button placed at the end of the turn signal stalk where you will be pressing that, and if it's on, it shows a little diagram on the left display screen. The very top of the center stack includes a nice little storage compartment. Down below that sits the 8-inch touchscreen display, which is home to the Sync 3 infotainment system. The home screen will display your navigation map. It'll also display your current radio station and your phone device if it is hooked up. To access all of the other menus and such that the system offers to you, all of the options are placed down below at the bottom of the screen. So this display screen will also show you all of your audio settings, of course. It'll show you your climate settings, which allows you to access the dual zone automatic climate controls. It also allows you to access your phone settings, view your navigation map, and set, a destination and whatnot. Access additional vehicle applications such as SiriusXM Travel Link. And finally, accessing all of the system settings as a whole. So in this menu, you have your sound, the clock, Bluetooth, your display screen options, vehicle settings, ambient lighting settings. But you can also access what is brand new for 2019, and that is the Ford Pass Connect. And Ford Pass Connect is basically allowing you to turn the vehicle into an internet hotspot. So that is something that is also new for this year. As far as the audio goes, the sound system in this vehicle is an AM, FM, CD, MP3, and SiriusXM compatible stereo system, powered by an upscale B&O sound system. And might I add, it actually sounds really, really good. This is one of the few vehicles now that Ford is offering a CD player in. So I noticed in a couple of other 2019 Fords, the CD players are no longer being included. But this one still has a CD player slot for you. The touchscreen will also display a backup camera when you're in reverse. And there's also a front camera that you can access by pushing the camera button shown right above the CD player. When you press that, it shows you a straight view of what's in front of you. And if you hit it again, it kind of gives you more of an angle, kind of like a 180 angle of what's in front of you, so you can see a little more of the corners. Under the touchscreen display sits all of your additional audio and climate controls. You will also find your air-conditioned and heated seat controls. Under them, you have a deep storage console that is placed directly underneath the center stack, and it includes 2 USB ports for your digital media devices, as well as a charging pad for your compatible phone. There is a small storage space placed directly behind the center stack, and you also have a 12-volt power outlet placed down there as well. So 2019 introduces the brand new rotary shifter, which removes the regular console shifter that you would find in the earlier edges. The rotary shifter also allowed them to redesign the entire center console as well. So behind the rotary shifter, you have your parking brake control, and the cluster of buttons placed back here shut off your auto start stop feature, activates the active park assist, and it'll also turn off your parking sensors if you didn't want to use them. Along with that, you have a small storage space behind those and 2 cup holders. The armrest opens up to a top storage tray, but if you wanted to just close it and reopen it again, you have a deep storage console that also includes an additional 12-volt power outlet. And the glove compartment is actually pretty spacious. Up on the ceiling, you will find your sun visors, and you have HomeLink universal garage door controls placed on the driver's side. Both visors also include lighted vanity mirrors. The ceiling console itself includes a place for a pair of glasses, 2 map lamps, your additional lighting, interior lighting controls, and the controls for your powered panoramic sunroof. The interior door trim includes more leather with white contrasted stitching, as well as gloss black accenting, and also houses the controls for your power door locks, power mirrors, your power windows, and the 3-person memory presets for the driver's seat. Backseat passengers have a lot of space in the back of the ST, and I've said this more than once on all these features. I am about 6 feet tall, so the seat is pretty, pushed back, but for me to be 6 feet tall and sitting back here, my knees aren't touching, and there's still a lot of room for me to move around. Amenities in the back of the Edge ST include rear heated seats, which are controlled by the buttons placed here at the back of the center console. You also have 2 air vents, a storage pocket, a 12-volt power outlet, and a 110 power outlet. There is also an armrest placed here with 2 additional cup holders. Not bad. Okay, so I'm sure the first thing that everybody wants to know about is how the engine feels in this Edge. And you know, even though you know, I don't do any, you know, like really try to knock the high performance out of this car, you know, just from like getting on the highway and, you know, merging on the highway and stuff with this car, you know, the V6 does, it feels like it does a fantastic job at actually giving the Edge its proper ST badge. And the nice thing about this particular model too is you can hear the exhaust in the car when, you know, you're actually at you know, accelerating. So I think the exhaust sounds really good. You can hear a bit of the engine. The engine noise is pretty low in this vehicle, much like that of the Fusion Sport when I drove it. So you don't hear much road noise, you don't hear much engine noise, but you can hear the slight exhaust note toward the back of the car, and I think that's awesome. Not only are these seats comfortable, but the ride overall is surprisingly very, very comfortable, especially for being a you know, a sport type of you know, vehicle. I honestly want to say it's probably a little more comfortable than the Fusion, but there's also other factors in there. This is also a bigger vehicle. It's probably a little more off the ground. It's got bigger tires. And I know that Edges that are not ST models, those also drive and handle really well. And this car is just riding so smooth, and I have no complaints about how this car rides at all. The handling is also very nice. The steering is firm, very quick, even for a vehicle that is of a larger size like this. The one quirk that I have about this particular cabin is very similar to that I had of the Fusion Sport, and probably any car that doesn't have a shift lever anymore. But the rotary shifter, for me, it in a way kind of takes away a comfort level, because I like to hold on to the shifter when I'm driving, you know, cars that have a console shifter like that. And since this has got the knob, I feel like I don't really have anything to hold on to. I can hold on to the knob. It's kind of weird, but I just kind of already miss having something that I can kind of just grab onto, you know, right here. But I'm sure if this were something that I would drive every day, it's probably something that I would get used to. Kind of like right now already, my arm is actually further back on your armrest, and I'm grabbing a hold of the end of the the armrest, the lid. So that's probably what I would do if I were actually driving this car every day, in place of the console shifter. When the vehicle is at temperature and you're not using the air conditioning or the heat in max mode and whatnot, this does have auto start stop, as mentioned, and it's kicked on quite a few times. That's a feature that I am honestly not sure I would use all the time or not. I may not use it at all. This road is very jittery, but it's not too bad in this car. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? You get jitters, you get jitters. But I'm not bouncing off the seat or anything, so I like it. I think it's a very comfortable ride. One particular thing you may have to get used to with the newer style Edges are the flares at the sides of the hood. If you're used to driving a car that has a flatter hood and dives down, the flares on the sides might kind of make you feel a little confused when you start to like judge your corners and such. But overall, it's really not that big of a deal. Just something that I've noticed with my time in the Edge. So even though this is like a sport model for the Edge, the nice thing about it is you can still use it as an everyday driver and not feel like you have to sacrifice anything for, you know, a performance car in a way. So like, say you don't want to drive, your performance car every day because it's got a stick. Well, this one doesn't have a stick. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission where you can still manually shift the gears with the paddles on the back if you want to. You still have room to carry all of your everyday cargo. It looks good, it drives good, you can have fun while driving this car. So this is probably like the perfect performance daily driver, in my opinion. You have a family, you can still carry them in the car. You still have plenty of room to carry your family and your belongings in the car together. And you're not sacrificing performance nor comfort, and you still have all of these awesome features that are still gonna, carry you through. But the Edge in general is a car that I've always liked. It's actually a car for a while that I was really interested in purchasing at one point, and it's definitely still up there as far as my interest in it possibly being a future vehicle. So maybe one day I'll have an Edge. But driving this one, this one would be a great car to have. Like I said, it would be the perfect daily driver. So that was the 2019 Ford Edge ST. Hope you guys enjoyed today's feature. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Also check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and Mike's Vehicle Vlog merchandise. You can also check out some of that merchandise down below this video. There's a little scroll section there. Just scroll back and forth. And that's all I've got for you guys today. I will see you guys next time right here on Mike's Vehicle Spotlight. Take care.